Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, as you guys can see, we are going to be talking about the law of familiarity. So on the law of familiarity, you guys, which this is basically something that I'm just being repetitive on because it's very important, you guys. It's very super important. And this is something that you cannot overlook. If you look at a lot of my videos, I talk about brainwash, I talk about cults, I talk about, breaking out of the matrix. I talk about warfare. I talk about how the relationship with the narcissist does not last. The moment they show you who they are, that's it. When the love bomb ends, that's it. You're just going to go through the same cycle and over and over and over and over again. If you choose to, which is you losing your path in life. Once you lose your path or your mission in life, that inner voice inside of you that has ambitions and dreams, once you lose that, it's almost like you're stranded in a stranded island. And over time, you forgot your purpose. You forgot why you wanted to leave the island. And now it seems like your reality is just not your reality anymore. So the law of familiarity basically states that any form or pattern that is familiar or meaningful are likely to be grouped together. So if you become familiar with someone at work, or you become familiar with seeing someone, say you go and get coffee every morning at the same coffee shop and the same woman or the same man greets you, after a while, you're going to become familiar with this person. Or, you might go somewhere and you might get a certain treatment. So now you're being familiar with this environment and you're expecting that same treatment and you're expecting those same faces. So when something doesn't go according to your surroundings, the people around you might not be familiar. It kind of throws you off a bit. And a lot of times you're too busy investigating the people that are not familiar because you have already made yourself comfortable to the faces that are familiar. This is why a lot of narcissists, they might be married or in relationships, but every time they get a new job, based on their environment or where they're working, they could be working at a school or anywhere they're working at, people are becoming familiar with them. When people become familiar with something, they put their trust in that person. It's like seeing a coworker every single day and they ask you for $20 and you give it to them because they're familiar. And then a week later, they never even pay you back, but you kind of overlook it or say maybe they really needed the $20 and you never really think about it again, right? The narcissist also has the advantage of using the law of familiarity when they make people comfortable, because now the perception of that person is whatever that narcissist is showing them, which is, maybe they're nice, maybe they're showing empathy, maybe they're showing that they're this inspirational person that has so many goals and dreams. Hey, they might even take you to places that are familiar to them or places that are familiar to you, like the beach. Things that are already familiar as it is, and now they're connecting those familiarities to them. This is why the narcissist goes after people who are not familiar to them. And once that person, gets to know the narcissist, over time, whether they don't know them personally, they automatically trust the narcissist. This is why the narcissist does, their job is basically when they're getting new supply or they're going back to past supply, they go back to past supply and they try to figure out if you're in a weak place, because if you are, they're going to love bomb you. And because of the law of familiarity, you're going to remember the good times. So this is how they go and they get their past supply with giving you that feeling of that familiar feeling, like that soulmate feeling, like you've been here before, like maybe you guys do deserve to be with each other. And, even with the new supply, this is why they love bomb in the beginning. This is why they try to move into your home. This is why they invite you to stay with them for weeks at a time. This is why you're thinking to yourself, well, this person couldn't have cheated on me. They've been with me the whole time. They've been consistent. Because the law of familiarity works in many ways. Not only do they invest a lot of time with you, when they're meeting other people on the side, they might text them, they might, meet up with them once in a while. And the more they meet up with these people or even pretend to be their friend, they're making themselves familiar. Once you're familiar with something, you're going to open up right away. This is how the narcissist gets you. If you pay attention to animals, especially like a cat is not just going to, walk up to you and let you pet it. It needs to become familiar with you over time. And even when it does become familiar to you, it still hesitates to being pet by you. So that's what the narcissist does, you guys. They become familiar with you, with your emotions. They project the things that you want. So now when you see them, you automatically think about all the good things. You think about all the promises. They can treat you bad. They can lie to you. They can cheat. But when they bring that love bomb, they're bringing that law of familiarity, you guys. And that's what you guys need to watch out for. You guys need to make sure that when you guys go to work, you guys remember your purpose, remember why you're there. Understand that you don't know these people. Understand that just because you see them every day and everyone's playing a character in a role just to make it through the day, you have to understand that these people are still not your friends, or these people are still people that you do not know just because they look familiar. These people could be people that can even follow you home from work and rob you. You cannot trust people just because they're familiar or just because they're family, right? Family is very familiar. You can't trust family just because they're familiar, because some of your family members just might be narcissists, and it's a familiar spirit. You have to think about that. It's a familiar spirit. So yes, the narcissist uses familiarity to get to you. If you really pay attention to the love bombing and the cycles in the relationship, you will see that they basically threw themselves at you. And even when the relationship might have not been serious, they were consistent with contacting you. They were consistent with answering the phone anytime you needed them. So the law of familiarity can also, it can ruin your life, because you're in a path and you're on a mission, and here comes the narcissist, knocks you off your path because they're becoming familiar. And now you think that they are the answer to your future. This is why when you leave the narcissist and, you go through the pain and then you force yourself to obtain your goals, this is why everything starts coming to you. Your deepest desires, good things start happening to you. A lot of times you're able to get yourself out of that hell. And when you're back on track, back on your path, the narcissist comes back in your life to distract you. So be very careful surrounding yourself with people, or even going back to the past and rekindling relationships or friendships with people from the past, because, you say to yourself, oh, they're familiar. I don't really think they did anything to me, but they're in the past for a reason. I actually had to find out the hard lesson by, going back to the past and rekindling friendships, just to find out that these people had did things to me in the past that I didn't even know about until I rekindled the friendship, just because it seemed familiar, but it was never a good friendship in the past or in the present. So the narcissist uses the law of familiarity to get to us every single time. And they do it in a way where it is calculated. So look forward to your future, you guys. Let go of the past. Let go of the things that are holding you in one space and taking your peace away. So I did want to add this continuation to the last video I made, which, I hope that you guys can learn from, the narcissist relationship, is non-existent. They made themselves seem familiar to get your trust, but this person is not a familiar person. This person is someone else, someone very cynical, someone who is after you, who is willing to hurt you because of their own evil and selfish greed. Narcissists are people that get bored easily, very quickly, and once they become too familiar to you as well, they lose interest right away. That pain that you might feel because they're gone, that connection that you have to break, sometimes it feels unbearable. Sometimes it feels like, you wish this person would be gone, because they hate you so much. It's like, the feeling sometimes becomes mutual after you realize what they've done to you, and you realize that it wasn't love, that it was just them, being familiar to you and knocking you off your path. And sometimes you might want them gone, but it's your empathy and your love that helps you, forgive, or even if you choose not to forgive, to keep moving forward and leave those things in the past, because you need your peace. The narcissist, they feel the same way. They feel pain. They can't explain their pain because they don't feel sorry for what they've done to people and to many others besides you. They don't want to admit what they've done, but they carry this pain, but the pain will never allow them to apologize. That pain they feel, it's really a manifestation of their anger. And the more they get to know people and be around people, they project their energy onto them, and they believe that everyone is the same. If you have empathy, you're the same. You're familiar to them in a different way. They're using the law of familiarity because they're like, hey, you're the same. You're like everyone else I've messed up. So I'm okay with messing you up because all of you guys are the same. You guys are beneath me. The narcissist thinks they're above everyone, and you can't, they want to live in this fantasy. So it's up to you guys to understand the law of familiarity, to understand that just because something seems familiar or something, you're used to these people around you, or you're used to seeing these people around you, just know that you don't know these people. Most of the time, they're not even supposed to be in your path. The path that you're walking on, they're not even supposed to be on that path walking along with you. These are just people that you have to interact to get to that next level. But these people will, see you as a familiar, and they'll try to get close to you. So this is where a lot of us go wrong. And this is something that we all have to acknowledge and pay attention to, especially when you're dating or you're getting to know people. Just know, just because you're seeing them a lot doesn't mean that they're meant for you, because a lot of times, as we know it, we always see the red flags and we ignore them. Why? Because the more you see this person, after you've seen them twice, 3 times, they become familiar to you. It's like seeing someone that you're not attracted to. It's not going to work out, but yet over time you become attracted to them. You fall in love with them. You become sexual with them. You build a soul tie with them. And next thing you know, this narcissist wants you dead because they feel like they need you gone. They need you destroyed. They need to spiritually kill you in order for them to move on. It's like, if I can't physically do it, I have to spiritually do it, because I can't imagine you ever being happy. I have to beat you to happiness. It's a competition, and if someone is competing at having peace and they need to break the peace of others in order to feel peace, that means that they're never going to have genuine peace inside of themselves, you guys. It's fake. Anything that they show happiness and, they're happy with the next person, it's all fake. It's a lie. It's to make you jealous. It's to make people jealous. If you hang around these narcissists long enough, you will see that when they're doing bad or when they're doing good, it doesn't matter. They're always talking about people. This person might not have two coins to rub together, and they're talking about people and how if they were them, they would have done this or they would have done that. Or, look at this person, they don't know how to run their business. The more you're familiar with something that is not meant for you, the more the universe will push you away from those things. And the more the universe will force you into the path that you deep down want inside. You can't make someone evil your God or your everything. These people are toxic people. They live literally just to hurt others, and they literally want people to be jealous of them. They are forcing people to be jealous of them. And you're thinking to yourself, I was peacefully living life happy alone without you. The narcissist is basically telling you, no, this is what's familiar to me. This is what I've been doing. No, I need to come in and make you jealous so that I can talk to my family and my brothers and my cousins and my sisters and my mom. I have to talk to them about you and how you're jealous and how you're crazy and you're obsessed with me. Everyone's obsessed with the narcissist, but yet they're the ones that are chasing after people. So make that make sense, you guys. This person's delusional. You're not crazy. This person just became familiar to you, and that's all it really was. They became familiar to you. Your spirit has been telling you for the longest that you need to get back on that path because you lost yourself. It's time to get back on track. It's time to try to find myself again because I need peace in my life. Do not fall for people who seem familiar. If these people aren't good people, if they're not giving you any type of energy, stay away from them because they're there to take your energy. They're not going to sit there and tell you that they're dying of thirst. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that they're on survival mode. They're just going to project themselves and make you feel comfortable by seeming familiar to you. So do not fall into that hypnosis, to that deep sleep. Stay awake, stay alert. Understand that, the law of familiarity can mess you up, and put you in a spell. So I hope that this message gets to you guys. I love you guys. I'm sending you guys lots and lots of peace and light because I know that we all need it in these times that we're living in. Especially all of us empaths, while the world is losing their mind, we have to find peace within ourselves to handle what's going on around us. So I do leave you guys with this message. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.